The Spanish love the... So that is basically the story, kind of like, for him. So yeah, that is the people in... Not... I'm a linguistics student. Well, Spanish, German... No, it's not German. They are like... That is so hard. Because like, you didn't want... Like, you know what I mean? Like, then I read, guys, then... to a new video here in my channel. If you're new and you don't know me, hi, I'm Ra and I make book writing and Formula 1 content here in this channel. If you are not new and you already know who I am, hi, welcome back to a new video here in my channel. For today, guys, I have my in-depth third trimester wrap-up. So every 3 months I talk about the books that I read during those 3 months, and because it is December and it is the end of the year, I have to come here and tell you the books that I read in October, November and December. So let me tell you about them. There are quite a few. They're not as many as I thought, but there are quite a few. So let me go in depth into all of them. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, turn on the notifications so you know if I want to post a brand new video every Friday. And now let's begin with this video. Okay guys, so in October I only read 2 books, which is kind of surprising, but at the same time I'm not surprised. Like, I usually read more than 2 books a month, but it's not bad. So I read The Spanish Love Deception and I read The People in the Trees by Hannah Yanakara. The Spanish Love Deception was a 4 stars for me and The People in Trees was 3.5. Spanish Love Deception is a love story about a girl who has to go to Spain to a family wedding. Like, I think her sister's getting married and she happens to be Spanish and living in somewhere else. So she has to go to Spain for a wedding, and she has told her family that she has a boyfriend, which she doesn't. So she goes to this friend of hers that is basically like a work person, like she works with this guy, and she's like, please can you help me, I need a date for the wedding of my sister. And the guy's like, yeah sure, let me help you out. That's the premise of the story, and it was just so fun to read. I was having fun reading about Spanish culture and Spanish food and Spanish related things as someone who's Spanish. It was so much fun for that. It was very cheesy at some point, but it was okay. And then Aaron is, like, the guy is so cute. Like, I loved him. I'm like, oh my god, a cutie pie, a cutie pie. Love that. So yeah, that is The Spanish Love Deception. And then The People in the Trees, I was expecting more because after A Little Life, which is one of my 5-star reads of all time, I still think about that book every other day. Like, I love that book. And I read it like a couple years ago. Like, I think I read it 1 or 2 years ago, and I love it still. So I was expecting so much more, but at the same time, this is like the debut novel of Hannah Yanakara. So I don't know why I was expecting much more, but it was so much fun in general. It was fun, but at the same time, I'm like, it could have been better. You know what I mean? But the book is about this linguist, American linguist, who goes into this very small town in the middle of the forest in South America, because he wants to study this language that they speak. I can be a nerdy now and talk about linguistics because I'm an English student who studies linguistics. My entire dissertation is on like linguistic stuff, so I do know about this quite a lot. So let me be a nerd for a while so I can explain. Languages can come from other like old stuff, so you know how like from other old languages. So you know how English comes from Germanic languages, like then they have like Irish and Welsh and Scottish, they come from like Gaelic, and then like Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, they come from Latin, right? So there are specific languages that no one knows how they appear. They just appear, and they are basically like, there's a word for them, I don't know the word right now, but basically they're languages that just are there and no one understands where they came from. And that's because they have no correlation to anything. And most of the times these are very specific languages that speak very small town or like very small villages that live in the middle of the forest or in the middle of just nowhere. Like, if you go to a very inhabited area and you find a small village of people, like there's like 100 max people, they probably have one of these languages. So this linguist, right, this American linguist, goes into the forest to find this little like village to try and study their language, because he's a linguist, he wants to study about it. And it is very hard for these people, for this in real life. Like, if you find one of these like little villages, towns, and they let you in. You manage to get in those like, you know, in that area, in that world for a bit, be proud of it, because it's so hard. So he gets into this village and starts living with these people for like a couple of months, while he starts like raping kids and killing people and stuff like that, because he wasn't too bright. And after that, he, like, after a couple of months, he leaves, because he's like, because people find out that, you know, he has been raping kids and stuff. They're all like, yeah, leave, we don't want you here anymore. So he goes back to the United States, and to like get back to these people, he goes and starts talking about their language, and starts like basically writing this entire paper on their language, when they said, do not do this, because if you do, people might come and kill us, so don't. And he doesn't care. He's like, I don't care, I'm gonna do it. And I just felt like incredibly smart reading it, because I was understanding most of the stuff. So that's why I did like it. But the actual story, I feel like she did, like, Hana Yanakara did so great after this one. Like, A Little Life is amazing. I went to read to Paradise, which is the last one she published, and it's also like a massive book, so I'm very scared of it. But like, you know what I mean? Like, she did so well writing this first and then going into a different story and like improving her writing. I'm looking up to her. So yeah, thank you so much, Hana Yanakara, for your contribution to society and to my reading taste. I love you. It was so much fun. That was so cool. After that, I read Henry V by Shakespeare, and let me just tell you, I read it first at university in one of my modules, and I didn't really understand it, but it was fun. And then when I was rereading it for this other video that I'm doing, I did enjoy it more. I think it's because I read it in Spanish the second time. I understood most of the stuff, but it was so much fun. And the queen of this book, she is such a great character. I love her. Like, she's just an actual queen. Like, yeah, she's the queen because she married Henry V, but she's a queen because some of her, like, dialogue is simply iconic, and I love that for her. Oh my lord, I did enjoy Henry V. Then I read Dune 3. I read Children of Dune, which is the third book from the Dune series by Frank Herbert, and I love the book mainly because I hated the second one. So it was basically impossible to make it worse than the second one. And this third book, I was all over the place, because this story is about the children that Paul Atreides has. So he has two children. They're twins, and there's this like group of people who want to kill these two kids, and it's just like insane. It was so good. And Leto, I'm in love with you. Leto, marry me. Like, please. Thank you very much. Thank you. After Dune 3, I read Where Sleeping Girls Lie by Farida Apike Ibiyide or something like that. I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name. I'm so sorry. But it was a very interesting book. It's a mystery, and it is about an orphan girl who's black. It's not important that it's black, but in the cover you see a black. So that girl in the cover is the main character. So she's an orphan, and she goes into this very rich private school in England, where she like lives there and stuff, because again, she's an orphan, so she's like kind of like in like this school that you can like basically live there. I don't know what's the name in English. So she goes into this internado in the UK, and she starts meeting people, and then this girl dies, and this girl happens to be her roommate, and the entire book's about who killed the girl. And it was so much fun. I did enjoy it. The plot twist I didn't expect. Like, I in a way, I was like, this could be, but at the same time, I was like, nah, there's no way. That's why I was surprised. But yeah, it was fun. It was an interesting book, and I love reading books by this author, because she talks about she includes a lot of like black people, and like, you know, she does a lot of inclusion in her books, also because the author is black, so of course. But I love that, because I need to read more like interracial books, and her books are always a win. Like, if I read the book from her, I know I'm gonna like it. So congratulations, Farida, I love you. Please, I know you just published another book called The Hires. If you're watching this video, which you are, if you want to give it to me, please, I would love to have that book in my shelves. After those, I read Henry VI, and I read the 3 parts of Henry VI. I almost died in the process, but I did read the 3 parts, and the only interesting part is the first one, because it's where Joan of Arc appears, and I thought it was so funny that she was called Puthela, which is the city I'm from, throughout the entire play. It was so much fun. But yeah, like, the actual story, it's okay. I'm just interested to get to Henry VIII, because I'm obsessed with Henry VIII and the Tudors. I don't know why. That story with the wives, amazing. The musical, amazing. So I'm excited to get to that. And I'm also excited because I'm about to finish the historical place. So that is a good thing. That is like a pat on the back. Hell yeah. And then the last book I read this year was Game of Thrones. Yes, I finally finished Game of Thrones 1. I am making a video, if you don't know, I'm making a video reading the entire Game of Thrones series, and it's gonna be like full of spoilers, very long because I'm putting all the books in the same video, and I've been reading for that video, the first book, for like a couple of months, and my goal was to finish that book before the end of the year, which I did. So congratulations to moi. Thank you so much, my friend Seb, for making me actually start reading the books. But yeah, I'm so happy I'm done with book 1. I'm loving it. I want to get into book 2 right now, so I will be doing it probably in a couple of days. I will start book 2, and I'm super excited. So yeah, that is the last book I read this year. I think everyone knows what Game of Thrones is. If not, you should watch the show. It was very good. I really enjoyed it, and now I'm like, when I'm reading, I'm remembering the show, so like kind of fun. It's a very interesting fantasy, high fantasy, epic fantasy book. I'm so excited to continue the series. Yeah, I think those are all the books. There are quite a few, but at the same time, some of them were just like Shakespeare plays that I literally can read in like a couple of hours. So I don't know how accurate it is in number, because I feel like I read not as much. Anyway, the important thing is that those are the books that I read in the past 3 months. I hope you enjoyed this little video of me explaining what the books are about. Thank you so much for watching. If you didn't like it, again, like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, as well as, you know, clicking the bell icon so you can get notified, because I post videos every single Friday, and if you want to see those videos, you should be subscribed and with the notifications on, so please feel free to do that. Remember to follow me on my social media, it's always down below on the description. So yeah guys, thank you so much for watching. I love you all. I will see you on the next video, and if the next video is next year, because I don't know when I'm posting this and the rest of like the videos I've been filming today, I will see you on the next video, which will be next year, so happy new year. And yeah, thank you so much. I will see you on the next video. Bye!